In 2008, this company was drowning in $200 million of debt. Their product was banned from hospitals. Schools called them a safety hazard, and Time magazine listed them as one of the worst inventions ever created. Fashion critics said they looked like Swiss cheese for your feet, and the internet exploded with memes, calling them the ugliest shoes in human history. The founders watched their empire crumble as stores returned millions of unsold pairs. Everyone predicted total collapse, but just 13 years later, this same hideous product generated $2.3 billion in a single year, became a status symbol worn by celebrities, and sparked bidding wars that crashed websites worldwide. This is the insane story of how three guys accidentally created the most hated shoe that somehow conquered the world. This is the story of Crocs, a company that turned ridicule into riches, transformed hatred into profits, and proved that sometimes being different is the ultimate competitive advantage. From near bankruptcy to billion-dollar empire, this isn't just about shoes. It's about how three entrepreneurs accidentally created one of the most controversial yet successful brands in history. But first, let me take you back to where it all began. 2002, Boulder, Colorado. Three friends, Scott Siemens, Lyndon Hansen, and George Bodecker Jr., weren't trying to revolutionize footwear. They weren't fashion designers. They were just boat enthusiasts who stumbled upon something extraordinary at a trade show. They discovered a peculiar foam clog made by a Canadian company called Foam Creations. These weren't ordinary shoes. They were made from a proprietary closed-cell resin called Croslite. This material was revolutionary, lightweight, odor-resistant, and incredibly comfortable. But more importantly, it was waterproof and provided exceptional grip on wet surfaces. The three entrepreneurs immediately saw potential, not for fashion, but for function. Their first target wasn't fashion-conscious consumers. It was boaters. The original classic clog was designed as the ultimate boat shoe, something that wouldn't slip on wet decks, could get soaked without damage, and wouldn't retain odors from fish and saltwater. At the 2002 Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, they sold out their entire inventory of 200 pairs. But something unexpected happened. People weren't just buying them for boats. Gardeners loved how easy they were to hose off. Healthcare workers appreciated the comfort during long shifts. Parents discovered they were perfect for kids. The three founders had accidentally created a shoe that solved problems they didn't even know existed. By 2005, Crocs had gone public, and the numbers were staggering. From $1 million in revenue in 2003 to $108 million in 2005. The company was growing at an unprecedented rate, but this success came with an unexpected consequence: intense hatred. Fashion critics were brutal. Time magazine listed Crocs among the 50 worst inventions. Style websites called them crimes against fashion. The internet was flooded with memes mocking their appearance. But here's the fascinating part. Every piece of negative press only seemed to fuel more sales. By 2008, the honeymoon was over. The global financial crisis hit, and suddenly, people weren't buying novelty shoes. Sales plummeted from $847 million to $645 million. The company that seemed unstoppable was hemorrhaging money. But the real problem wasn't just economic. Crocs faced an identity crisis. Were they a fashion brand? A utility company? A fad that had run its course? Hospitals banned them for safety reasons. Schools prohibited them. The very functionality that made them popular was now being questioned. The company was drowning in debt, with over $200 million owed to creditors. Stores were returning unsold inventory in massive quantities. The three founders who had built an empire watched their creation crumble. Many predicted this was the end of Crocs. Instead of giving up, new leadership made a radical decision. They wouldn't fight the hatred, they'd embrace it. CEO John McCarville launched a bold strategy: come as you are. The message was clear. Crocs weren't trying to be fashionable. They were comfortable, practical, and unapologetically different. They diversified beyond the classic clog, introducing boots, sandals, and even dress shoes. They partnered with celebrities who genuinely wore Crocs, not because they were paid to, but because they actually loved them. Healthcare workers became brand ambassadors. Parents shared stories of how Crocs saved their sanity during muddy playground adventures. Most importantly, they doubled down on customization. Jibbitz charms allowed people to personalize their Crocs, turning a simple shoe into a canvas for self-expression. Children especially loved this feature, and parents appreciated shoes that encouraged creativity rather than conformity. Crocs made a crucial realization. They weren't competing with Nike or Adidas. They were in their own category entirely. Instead of chasing fashion trends, they focused on comfort technology. They invested heavily in improving their Croslite material, making it even more comfortable and durable. They also expanded globally, recognizing that different cultures had different relationships with comfort versus fashion, in countries where practical footwear was valued. Over style, Crocs found enthusiastic markets. The company began positioning itself not as a shoe company, but as a comfort technology company that happened to make footwear. Then came 2020. The COVID-19 pandemic changed everything. Suddenly, comfort became more important than fashion. With millions working from home, formal footwear sales collapsed, but Crocs sales exploded. Healthcare workers on the front lines needed comfortable, easy-to-clean shoes for grueling shifts. Parents stuck at home with children needed practical footwear for backyard adventures. People craved comfort during an uncomfortable time, but the real breakthrough came from an unexpected source: Generation Z. The same demographic that typically drove fashion trends began ironically embracing Crocs. What started as ironic appreciation became genuine love. TikTok influencers showcased elaborate Jibbitz collections. High-fashion collaborations with brands like Balenciaga suddenly made Crocs cool. In 2021, Crocs achieved something remarkable. They recorded their highest revenue ever, $2.3 billion. The ugly shoes that everyone loved to hate had become a cultural phenomenon. Today, Crocs sells over 100 million pairs annually across 90 countries. From a chance discovery at a boat show to a global empire worth billions, their journey teaches us something profound about business and human nature. They proved that trying to please everyone often means pleasing no one. By accepting that they would be polarizing, Crocs built an incredibly loyal customer base who didn't just wear the shoes, they advocated for them. The company that everyone said would fail because their product was too ugly succeeded precisely because they never tried to be beautiful. They focused on being useful, comfortable, and authentic. Crocs didn't change the world by being the best shoe ever made. They changed it by being completely unapologetically different. In a market obsessed with style, they chose substance. In an industry built on trends, they created their own timeless category. The three founders who stumbled upon a foam clog at a trade show accidentally discovered something more valuable than a product. They found a philosophy. Sometimes the biggest opportunities come disguised as the ugliest packages. From boat show to billion-dollar brand, Crocs proved that in business, as in life, being genuinely yourself, even if that self is considered ugly by others, can be the most beautiful strategy of all. If this incredible journey from $200 million debt to $2.3 billion empire blew your mind, smash that like button to help more people discover how the ugliest shoes ever made became a global phenomenon.